Hey guys, Megan here. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to go over calorie counting with you guys. I started my adventure with calorie counting and points tracking very early on in my childhood. And there are some pros and cons that I think everyone needs to be aware of, especially those who are involving their children in calorie counting. So a lot of us, we start out with an app or some sort of system that tells us how much points or how many calories we're going to be consuming when we're eating different foods. The biggest thing to know about calorie counting is unless you are weighing and measuring everything, it's going to be an estimate anyways. The basis of calorie counting came from the fact that there are 3,200 calories in 1 pound of fat. So if you were to burn or use up 3,200 more calories than what you eat, you would have lost a pound of fat. So those days that you get on the scale and you've lost like 3 pounds overnight, usually that's not fat. That's water weight or something else is contributing to that weight loss. It's not true fat loss. So that's the science behind calorie counting, is if you can live in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. The issue that I have with a lot of calorie counting and point trackers is the fact that it is a best guesstimate. If you're making a lifestyle change, you are going to be changing your metabolic rate. Every day our bodies burn calories to live, no matter what we do. And anytime we make a lifestyle change, like if we're starting to drink more water, we're working out, it's going to affect our resting metabolic rate. So that's how much calories our body is burning, not doing anything at all. If you start restricting your calories, you can actually lower your resting metabolic rate. So instead of your body using up 1,500 calories a day, if you go on a really restrictive diet, it could go down to 1,200. So people get frustrated when they're not eating a whole lot and they're not losing a whole lot either. They're starving themselves and they're lowering their metabolic rates, and your body's just not burning as many calories each day. Another issue that I have with this is this. If you go on your app or your tracker or whatever you're using to count calories or points, usually it's by the piece or weighed or measured out. These are both avocados. Do you think both of these avocados have the same amount of calories in there? No. This obviously is going to have more calories because it's a bigger avocado. But if you're just somebody who's going along entering this in, if you're entering in calories for this avocado, but you're eating these size avocados, you're not going to have a biggest calorie deficit as you really thought you did. Unless you're going to weigh these avocados and do it by the gram, which is extremely time consuming, you're not going to know exactly how many calories you're eating. Another issue that people run into with calorie counting is when they are looking at the packages. And you look at this and it says in one serving, there's 150 calories. So you're like, I'm going to have a bowl of oatmeal. Let me pour myself a bowl of oatmeal. All right, here's my bowl of oatmeal. Should be 150 calories. It says so on the box. It also says that a serving size of 150 calories is half of a cup. How many cups did I pour in here? I don't know. I'm going to have to measure it out. This is a half of a cup. There's still a whole lot of oats in there. So what I originally thought might have been 150, 200 calories is actually closer to about 600 calories. So unless you are planning on weighing and measuring out everything you eat, your science is not going to be perfect. You're not going to be able to correctly guesstimate what's going to show up on the scale every day due to a lot of different factors. So pairing a scale with calorie counting is usually not a very good strategy tool wise. The other issue I have with calorie counting apps and such is mental. I'm the type of person who, if you tell me I can't do something, that makes me want to do it even more. So if you're telling me I can't eat over 2,000 calories a day, and at the end of the day, if I'm like right on the edge and I'm hungry and I tell myself I can't have this, then I want it even more. And that's really hard to fight through when the only thing that's stopping you is because somebody else is telling you you can't have it, or a program is telling you you can't have it. It can also work in the reverse for me as well. If I get a prompt that says, hey, if you keep up this calorie deficit, you could lose 5 pounds this week. That's going to encourage you to keep doing some disordered eating and not fueling your body correctly because your app told you you would. What the app didn't say is, hey, if you continue to restrict your calories this much, you're at danger of decreasing your metabolic rates because you're not fueling your body properly. To my knowledge, there's not an app that's doing that out there at this time. So unless your app is telling you when you're eating too much and too little, it's probably encouraging you to eat too little and you're not accurately, correctly fueling your body. It's very common for people with eating disorders to swing one way and the other. It's very common for us to swap a habit that we've been using as a distraction for another habit that we use as a distraction in life. So for those of us who have done a lot of emotional eating our entire lives, it's really easy for us to swap to obsessive compulsive eating, where we are just continually sucked into being overly concerned about what's going into our bodies all the time and not able to actually enjoy life. And that's what the goal for most of us in this is, being able to have a healthy and happy lifestyle that we love. So I just wanted to let you guys know about the pros and cons behind calorie counting and just put it out there for you. It may not be the best technique for you, and it may be something that is actually hurting you on your journey instead of helping you on your journey. So anytime you're using a tool, you have to ask yourself, is this tool really something I should be utilizing? Is this tool really helping me, or is this tool actually hurting me?